Unmute my mic, guys. Welcome back to another edition of Hot Topics. As you see on the screen, we have justice for Rasheem Carter, 25-year-old young man who was, I'm going to call it as it seems, he was murdered down in Mississippi, Fayetteville, Mississippi, that is. The police right now don't want to call it a murder. For what reason? It's been 100 and, I think it was 167 days now. Police have had a chance to put their hands on the case to see what really happened to this young brother. And actually, that's correct, 167 days. And the Taylorsville Police Department in Taylorsville, Mississippi, has nothing. For those of you who have not had a chance to see this horrific, tragic act that happened down in Taylorsville, Laurel, Mississippi. The news broke earlier of last year. Actually, this happened back in October of last year, October the 2nd. Rasheem Carter became missing. 30 days later, they found his body in pieces. I'm going to show a little bit of footage here shortly. And ladies and gentlemen, as it stated on the top, it said, when you saw the intro said, let's talk about it. Let's do that tonight. Let's actually talk about this case. Since the police department can't come up with a good, solid investigation as to what happened, they're calling it just a misfortune. He somehow or another died in the woods and animals drug his body parts here, there, and everywhere. When you see his skull, that's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine, without giving too much information away, because I'm not advertising for no one. Imagine this right here is the full skull. But when you find the skull, it's cut off even like that right there. What dog? What bear? What mountain lion, if there's any in Mississippi? What deer? What skunk? What possum can slit a man's head, a body, a person's head, evenly like that? Tell me what, ladies and gentlemen. What animal? But that's what the police are calling it. They're saying it's just a misfortune that, he was in the woods, and they're calling it, I don't think they call it a suicide. I don't think that they didn't mistakenly do that. But this young man was 25 years old. His remains were found, not all of his remains, but his remains were found in a wooded area in South Taylorsville, Mississippi. Now, this was the ABC Watch Live, and they said one thing is for certain: this was not a natural killing. The news is stating this, not the police department. This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was killed. And this reported from, once again, ABC News. And they said, Attorney Ben Crump, luckily he's involved once again with this. And we're fortunate, we need more Ben Crumps to get involved and to take over more and more cases like this one here. But Ben Crump said during a press conference on Monday, which Monday just passed, releasing the findings of the autopsy from the medical examiner. And I think they're going to go and do their own independent autopsy as well. But come on, man. The police department. And I'm going to dig in deep, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I say, I'm waiting for people to come in, chime in. And one thing I want to say to you people, as you come in, we will be doing this right here tonight. This is something that we haven't done on Hot Topics. We will be doing this right here. If you want to join the broadcast tonight, and you want to talk about what you've gathered from this horrific killing. I'm not calling it a death. It's a killing. It's a murder. If you would like to voice your opinion here on Hot Topics, Urban Voice Media, That's the information there. I will leave it up on the screen for a little bit, few more moments. But if you would like to join Hot Topics, and those of you, as you do come in, please, you don't have to say anything, but in the comment section, just throw a heart up for the family so that the family does get a chance to see this commentary on their loved one, on a what horrifically happened to their loved one. They would see how many people around the world really, really care and concern, and just they love them. If you will, just go to the comment section, just put a heart there. You don't have to say anything, just put a heart there to let the people know, hey, we love you. With that being said, I'm gonna dig back in deep into this here. Rasheem, once again, 25-year-old young man. He was murdered in somewhere between October the 2nd and November the 2nd. He was murdered. He was a skilled worker. He was a welder. He found himself doing subcontracting work in several towns over from where he actually lived. He lived in Laurel, Mississippi. Now, I'm going to give you a breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, in reference to Taylorsville. This is you can't get no better than this. Before I do that, let's do this right here. Put the sheriff. Put him up on the screen. Put him up on the screen. The sheriff, this dude right here. Now, this sheriff right here, I'm going to the side a little bit so you can see. This sheriff right here, Gabe Horn. Gabe Horn. He's the ringleader down there in Taylorsville, Mississippi. I was getting ready to say Taylorsville, North Carolina, because North Carolina has a Taylorsville as well. So I have to watch my wording on that one. But Gabe Horn, he's the leader down there. And so far, Gabe and his group can't find any wrongdoings in regards to maybe this being a homicide. He can't find it. We're going to dig deep into that as well. Once again, we got time here tonight. This one's going to be stretched out for a while because, baby, we got to unpack this. We really need to unpack this. Now, per NBC News, 3 members of the family said authorities told them wild animals may have torn his body apart. Well, that's possibly true. But don't tell me that's who killed him. They also said in the NBC News report, he was in so many different pieces. A cousin, Yokina Anderson, a cousin of the Carters, of his mother's, said that Yokina said that Carter's mother said that her son was lucid about the threats he faced. See, that's the unpacking we're doing right here. This brother was threatened on his job by co-workers, and not just the co-worker, the employer on the job as well. You'll hear more about that from the cousins of Rasheem in just a few, once I play the video. Actually, there's an audio I'm going to play from TYT. But by no means do the family feel that Rasheem did something to himself, took his own life, didn't want to live no more. By no means. Too much information. And actually too much text information from Rasheem to his mom, telling his mom how much he felt he was threatened, not just by the guys in vehicles after him, but threatened by his employer. We're going to unpack that as we get further into it. But this right here, just look at this fella right here. Now, to go a little bit in depth, we're going to take, like I said, if you want to join the podcast this evening, the broadcast, you can go to streamyard.com/ZDNQQXKVVB. And once again, as you do come into this video here, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, please go to the comment section And just place a heart in there for the family. Let the family know that you love them. That's what the heart is placed for. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this wonderful place here called Taylorsville, Mississippi. Let's talk about Taylorsville, Mississippi for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Taylorsville, Mississippi, per the 2023 census population, population of 1,088 people. Look at that picture real good. The words is not mistaken. Downtown. You can expect a place called Taylorsville, Mississippi, with only 1,088 people population downtown to look like this right here. You heard me correct. I said right here. You can expect that. Now, it composes, I'm putting it on the screen for you. It composes of 61.44% white, Black or African American, as they call, 37.39%. Two or more races, 0.87%. Other races, 0.3. Native American, Asians, and Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islanders, 0%. There's no Chinese restaurants there in Taylorsville, Mississippi. That tells you something about Taylorsville, Mississippi. Before we go any further, that tells you once again something about Taylorsville, Mississippi. That tells you something as to why they haven't arrested anyone in this young brother's death. That tells you something. 167 days, and that man on the computer screen can't find answers for the family. Other than animals have torn the body here, there, and everywhere. 30 days in the woods, dead. Yeah. They smell a dead corpse, and they're hungry. They're going to eat. Yeah, exactly. Horn, you are a disgrace. You're a disgrace to the world, young brother. You're a disgrace to the world. Not just to Taylorsville, not just to Mississippi, not just to America. You're a disgrace to the whole entire world as to what you and your department is doing down there. I'm going to say this once again. You see it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Population of 1,088 people there in Taylorsville, Mississippi. That tells you something. 61.44% white. Think about it. This brings back the feeling of another Emmett Till or Ahmaud Arbery. The corruption. The corruption with the police department. The corruption with the courts. Because the courts can't do nothing right now without the police department doing what they're supposed to do and doing it the right way. One thing the police department did state, per Ben Crump, he said that they stated that they contacted everyone that was in encounter with Mr. Carter and who he felt he was threatened from, and their cell phones pinged at home or at work, wherever they're supposed to be. Nowhere near where Rasheem was from October the 2nd to November the 2nd. Nowhere near it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you something. When it comes to TV, these young people now have seen enough on TV as what to do and what not to do. If they want to kill someone now, they're not bringing their cell phones no more. Yes, you heard me say it. They're not bringing their cell phones no more. No. They learned that trick. They learned, if we're going to kill, down in Mississippi, yeah, those good old boys of 1,088 population people down there, they've learned this from TV because they ain't got nothing else to do. You seen what the town looks like. You see it right there. There's nothing there to do other than watch Forensic Files. They have better sense now to not carry their cell phones. For the police department, this buckaroo right here to say, hey, they weren't nowhere near that area. Their cell phones show that they're at home at work. Really? You're a clown. You need a different type of hat on your head and a different type of clothing and makeup on. You're a clown. A clown, clown, clown. That's what you are. Very much a clown. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, people are getting smarter nowadays, and they're really not getting smarter. They're just paying attention to what they're watching. They're remembering what they're watching, and they know better. When they're going to do a killing, they're going to do something they ain't got no business doing. They're not taking their cell phones. Therefore, you cannot, unless someone ID me, you cannot pinpoint me there. What I have for you, ladies and gentlemen, the first thing I'm going to play is the video of Tiffany Carter, Rasheem's mother, and Ben Crump talking at the press conference last week after the autopsy was reviewed. Once again, this happened October the 2nd, 2022. Took the police 30 days later. Laurel Police Department and Taylorsville Police Department has failed the Carters, the community, the cities, the state of Mississippi, and also the United States of America. They failed them once again. Good old boys. Of a population of 1,088, 63%. Is it 63? It's going across the screen now. The population of whites there is, as it go across the screen, come on screen, come on across, 61.44%. Y'all listen.
Yokina Anderson, cousin of Rasheem Carter, and Marnay Tompkins, his aunt. Thanks so much for joining us.
I'm sorry, that was the wrong video. This is the correct video.
Thank you for your patience. Obviously, traveling delays today. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Carlos Moore, a great lawyer who hails here from the state of Mississippi, and with Attorney Chris O'Neill. We have the honor of fighting for justice for the family of Rasheem Carter. We have present here with us a lot of family members, a lot of supporters from her hometown who came all the way to Jackson, Mississippi, to the state capitol because they believe they're trying to sweep the killing of her child, her baby, under the rug. And so we have the president of the Mississippi NWSP chapter of Jefferson County present here with us, President Ricky McDonough, who's also going to address you. But first, we're going to talk about what we have discovered thus far. And then Attorney Carlos Moore is going to talk to you about things that he feels is very important here in Mississippi for us to not let them get away with. And then you're going to hear from his mother, Tiffany Carter, whose heart is broken, but yet she's still fighting to make sure that we catch these murderers. One thing is for certain, as Attorney O'Neill and I talked with my investigator, Arthur Reed, this was not a natural killing. This was not a natural death. This represents a young man who was...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, how? Once again, look at that skull. That's not because of what the autopsy is showing. No, look at that skull. How does an animal do that to a skull, to a body, to a human, to anything? How does an animal do that?
Was killed. His head was severed from his body. his vertebrae, his spinal cord, was in another spot they discovered away from his severed head. They have recently found remains that they believe are also Rasheem Carter at another part of where he went missing. And what that tells us is that this was a nefarious act. This was an evil act. Somebody murdered Rasheem Carter. And we cannot let them get away with this. I mean, when you look at these pictures taken at the autopsy, it tells you that there's nothing natural about this. It screams out for justice. And his mother, Tiffany Carter, had the courage to say, Attorney Crump, Attorney Moore, y'all show it all. Show it all so people know what they did to my baby. Somebody seen what happened to Rasheem. Somebody seen what happened to Rasheem. And we have to keep the pressure on until we get to the truth. And so today, we're calling for the Department of Justice to open an investigation as to what happened to Rasheem Carter. Somebody seen what happened to Rasheem. And it doesn't make any sense at all, because the text message that his mother got before he went missing is a part of the clue to solving this murder. And it has to be investigated. Do you want to read it, Tiffany?
I'll read it.
You have to say the name.
Okay.
And what date?
If you will, ladies and gentlemen, please listen very carefully as to what Rasheem's mother says about this text. Just listen carefully.
This was on October the 1st. My son texted me. This was after him and I had gotten off the phone. He said, me and the owner of this company not seeing eye to eye, Mama. His name, which I can't say at this time, but if anything happened to me, he's responsible for it. I'm too smart, Mama. He got these guys wanting to kill me. And that's what he sent to me.
And then
Listen to what she said. She has text information from her son on October the 1st stating him and the owner is not seeing eye to eye. And he has these guys wanting to kill him or out to kill him. Didn't state why. But yet and still, that's text information. But the police stated that the co-workers said that he was acting erratic. He was acting distant for several days. If you're the only, put that back. Let's see. Go back to where it said the population again. Put that back on the screen. All right. Thanks, guys. If you're the only brother there, black person there, brown person there, and things aren't going right, way down in Laurel, Taylorsville, Mississippi, 1,088 people population. I think I'll be to myself too. I think I would just make my money and just stay to myself as well, because I'm outnumbered by the masses of the people that are there, the masses of whites there. Especially if I see that something ain't going the way that it does go in other places. Meaning, it could be a favoritism issue. It could be a sabotaging issue in reference to the job, the work, or whatever. It could be a commission issue to where you're giving more things for the other welders to do and less for me. Therefore, I'm making less in commissions. It could be a number of things as to what Rasheem was talking about when he said they're not seeing eye to eye. But that's text information. That's facts that Miss Carter has. The police does not have facts from the co-workers other than their collaborate, all in agreement. This is what happened that day. This is what happened this week. People, think about it. 1,088 people population, 61.44% white. Think about it. Think about it. This is a no-brainer. Those people on that job did something to that brother. They did something to him. Whether they were all in cahoots with it, whether the owner was in cahoots with it, that we don't know. But they did something to this brother. Whether they were the ones who killed him or not, I can't state that. But they know something about what happened to that brother. They really, really do. And I think that it's a shame that the Laurel and the Taylorsville police departments have not pressed these people and did their job. I mean, come on, man. Even though it's 1,088 people, that city looked pathetically tiny as ever. Come on, man. This is 2023. Police chiefs, police officers, y'all can do better than this. That's pathetically pitiful. Let's finish out with the mom and being crump.
He went missing. And then his remains were found with his head dismembered from his body, his spinal cord separated from his head, and his other body parts are still missing. Tiffany deserves answers. This community deserves answers.
Not only the community, we all deserve answers. Every one of us, we deserve answers because, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I say every one of us deserve answers is because that could happen to us. It could happen to me. It could happen to you. And if we do not push the envelope to make these people open it up and do what's required, it's going to happen again. As I stated earlier, it seems like another Emmett Till, Ahmaud Arbery situation all over again. The same thing that happened with Emmett Till happened with Ahmaud. The only thing with Ahmaud is they got his killers. They got him. It wasn't quick enough for me. It wasn't quick enough for the community, but they got him. Needless to say, they got him. With this Rasheem Carter situation, Mississippi, stand up. Louisiana, stand up. Alabama, stand up. Georgia, stand up. Houston, stand up. Florida, stand up. South Carolina, stand up. Tennessee, stand up. North Carolina, stand up. We all surrounded on this East Coast, Mississippi. That thing, it's happened more than we realize, ladies and gentlemen. It really has. Mind you, this is just now truly coming to the light now. Now. Because of the efforts of what Ben Crump and others are doing to push that envelope through them doors, making them open and say, hey, you're going to do something about this. And that's what we need to do tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We need to do something about people who think they can do stuff like this and get away with it. We need to do stuff. We need to do something about it. We can put a stop to it. But we can't do it alone. We got to do it collectively. That horn needs to be out of there. Laurel, the police department, I didn't do any research to find out who's the chief over there, needs to be out of there. Why? Because he's from Laurel. That's why. He went to the police department. I'm going to let the aunts and the cousins tell this story. several times to get help. They closed the door on him. They didn't literally close the door on him, but they turned their back on him, is what I'm stating. And said, "No, we can't help you." Really? Come on, man. You know this brother's out of place. You know there's hardly any blacks there in your city. Excuse me. Little town. You know that. And you couldn't help this guy get to another safe location. Really? But if he was in trouble, you could transport him. Yeah. If he was in trouble in Laurel, Taylorsville would have been more than happy to transport him. Really? Is that much crime in Taylorsville to where, you guys are too busy? You couldn't protect and serve, as you claim that's what you're there for, to protect and serve the community? So you couldn't serve the community this one solid and transport this brother. And he told you what's going on. He told you he's about to be violated. He's stressing to you there's a problem. He's in fear. And you turned your back on him. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna tell you why without telling you. The reason they turned their back on him was because, once again, the population is only 1,088 people strong there. 61.44% white. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, they are. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, they are. When you have 1,088 people population in one town, they are their brother's keeper, because they not only their brothers, that's their cousins, that's their best friends, that's their sons, that's their nephews. Did I step on a toe? Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to what the cousin and the aunt had to say in reference to it. Now, this right here happened, I think it was December the 1st. Yes, it was December the 1st of last year. Yakina Anderson and Marnie Tompkins, family members of Rasheem, were talking to Adrian Lawrence with TYT. Y'all listen to what happened.
Thank you for your patience.
Wrong video.
Yakina Anderson, cousin of Rasheem Carter, and Marnie Tompkins, his aunt. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm very, very sorry for your loss. I know it has been extremely distressing. And if one of you wouldn't mind kind of bringing us up to speed in terms of what happened that we know of so far.
Well, Rasheem was working in a town called Taylorsville, Mississippi. He was working for Georgia Pacific, which is a electric plant, and he was a subcontractor. He was working under some subcontractor, what they call a temporary shutdown. They were only to be there for a short amount of time. He had gone to work the Monday preceding October the 2nd. He worked every day. He was living in the town called Laurel, Mississippi, which is around 22 miles east of Taylorsville. So he was driving, getting a ride back and forth from a coworker. We don't know really what happened on that Saturday. There was some type of miscommunication between he and the coworker that he was riding with, and that coworker indicated to him that Saturday morning that he was okay to ride with him, but he could not ride back with him. So when the work was done, Rasheem was basically stuck in Taylorsville, Mississippi. Rasheem is not from Taylorsville. He is from Fayette, Mississippi. He has, he did not know anyone in the town. Here he is without transportation. And Rasheem was trying to get back to Laurel, Mississippi, 22 miles down the road. We do know that he was asking people for a ride that Saturday night. He had asked lots of people that night when we did our investigation. People had seen him. They recognized him. He's a young Black man, and no one knew him. So people weren't open to take him for a ride back 22 miles down the road. He had been communicating with his mother. He indicated that he was afraid that there were people after him. His mother advised him to go to the police station. Rasheem went to the...
Now, you listen to that very closely. The mother advised him to go to the police station, and he did it. Proof. LB didn't. I'm not making nothing up. Proof. They denied this brother. Listen closely.
The police station. He went to the police station to ask for help, and also he asked while he was there, could they give him a ride back to where he was living? They told him no, that they could not give him a ride. That would be taking him out of their jurisdiction.
Really? Protect and serve. You saw, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen, here it is. That's how big Taylorsville downtown is. There's only one car moving. You see it. That's Taylorsville, Mississippi. You don't have nothing else to do with 1,088 people strong there out of your jurisdiction. Okay.
We're not allowed to do that. Rasheem left. We're not sure where he stayed that night. We assume that he stayed maybe outside somewhere that night. The next day he got up, he was still fearful. He was still in distress. His mother told him to go back to the police station. He goes back that Sunday morning, which was October the 2nd. The police have confirmed that he came both times. And this particular time, he also asked, well, can I just stay here until my ride gets here? Because by now, his mother had put together someone from the...
Ladies and gentlemen, woo! Listen closely. Woo! And I'm not happy about it. Ooh, it's adrenaline going through me right now as to what this wonderful lady is about to say, what the police department did. Listen.
Town of Fayette, which is about an hour, almost an hour and 45 minutes away, to pick him up. He was told no, he could not stay there, that this was not a place for him to stay. Rasheem was on the phone. He was talking.
Now, wait a minute. Second time there, they know definitely that this brother is distressed because he feels someone is out to kill him. He feels threatened. And he tells them, can I just stay here until my ride gets here? They said no. This ain't no Super 8 motel. No, you can't stay here. 1,088 people, population, 61.44% white, as you see it go across the screen right now. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the second time. The next day he's back there. And they denied them again. By now, they know the logistics as to what's going on and said no to this brother. Here we go.
To pick him up. He was told no, he could not stay there, that this was not a place for him to stay. Rasheem was on the phone. He was talking to his mother. He was talking to some more people. And he was standing outside of the police station. And about 7 o'clock that morning, he left. He asked them.
Now, I'm going to stop right there once again. Notice what she said. She said he was on the phone with his mother and some other people. So more people got information as to what was going on with Rasheem at that time. More people know that Rasheem was not erratic, delusional, just going berserk, going bonkers, just really out of his mind, threatening to kill himself. He wanted to get out of Taylorsville, but Taylorsville wouldn't let him go. Here we go.
People, and he was standing outside of the police station, and about 7 o'clock that morning, he left. He asked them for a charger, and then he left. and he went to what they assumed that he went to the local convenience store to buy a charger, and that's the last that they saw of him. He's still talking to his mother. He is still sounding as if he's in distress. He's telling his mother someone is after him. 10 o'clock morning on October the 2nd, he is on the phone with his mother. He is in the Family Dollar/Dollar Tree store, and he leaves out of there again startled. There was someone either came in or indicated that they were coming in for him. He left out of there. I think it was on the video it was about 10:17, and that's the last time that his mother or any family member has talked to Rasheem.
No, there aren't any other details except for a few people, as Marnay mentioned, that a few people had spotted him. We do know that when he last came out of the dollar store, after we talked with the police department, we went down there for the search on October the 8th. The police indicated that the last ping of his phone that we knew of was when he came out of the dollar store, but the police officer mentioned that his phone last pinged in an area called Clear Creek, which is off of Highway 28. We did not have that information. We still don't have any information as far as we haven't been able to get the phone records. We do know that his ATM card, his Chime card, was used on October the 4th.
His ATM card was used on October the 4th. Why come there's no surveillance information as to who used the ATM card? See there? Once again, Mr. Gabe Horn, brother, cousin, best friend, neighbor, church buddy, I don't give a damn what they are to you. You know what's going on, Mr. Horn. You know what's going on. Yeah. 1,088 people. You know what's going on. Continue to listen to more people.
We do know that his ATM card, his Chime card, was used on October the 4th. While he was on this private property, supposedly he was spotted on this camera coming across a deer trail, which they're saying it's stated on the video that it's October the 2nd. And so the picture that they sent to his mom, that the sheriff department sent to his mom to ask if that was him, he's not wearing a shirt. We can clearly see that he has bruises on his back, on his left arm, and he's looking back to the right as if he's running from someone, which he did tell his mom that there were some white guys in a white truck that were chasing him, that were after him. So he did provide his mom with some names as for who may be responsible if anything happened to him. So she did get that information from him over the phone as well as via text. But that's
able to identify these people at all in terms of, did he have their names that he shared with his mother?
From our understanding, the names that he shared with his mom, that those persons were called by Laurel Police Department. Taylorsville Police Department has not done any investigating at all. But with Laurel Police Department, we've heard that they called and talked to them over the phone, that they did not have any reason to bring them in for questioning. So that's as far as we've gotten there with that information.
People, I'm gonna go back to just a piece. She said he was spotted. I think she said Clearwater. I was trying to see how far Taylorsville was from Clearwater for a guy that's walking.
While he was on this private property, so get the phone records. We do know that we did not have that information. We still don't have any information as far as we haven't been able to get the phone records. We do know that his ATM card, his Chime card, was used on October the 4th. While he was on this private property, supposedly he was spotted on this camera coming across a deer trail, which they're saying it's stated on the video that it's October the 2nd. And so the picture that they sent to his mom, that the sheriff department sent to his mom to ask if that was him, he's not wearing a shirt. We can clearly see.
It was. Let me go back a little bit.
And he leaves out of there. It was on the video was about 10:17, and that's the last time that his mother or any family member has talked to Rasheem.
No, there aren't any other details except
Evidently,
for a
the
few
place
people.
that she stayed, I think she said Clearwater. Evidently, that may be even smaller than Taylorsville, because I can't see that nowhere. As I'm looking at the map here, in that area, there's no Clearwater. She said it was off of 28, and I'm looking at that. That's nothing. I can't see anything there. But, ladies and gentlemen, she did state that in reference to his in reference to Rashid's this right here, in other words. I don't know why I'm baffling the words, but if you look on what she was talking about, the bruises on his left arm, that's what she's talking about there, and along his back. People may say that, hey, that's shading. People, we know bruises. Brothers do. The black community know what a bruise is like on our body. And for this young man to, he's not known for walking around with no shirts on. There's no shirt in his hand anywhere. Evidently, it shows that strong possibility he's been ripped off. All that. That's a lot of beating on this brother right here. Even if you look up under the left ear, around the back of the neck and everything, you can see bruise area there as well. I don't know if you can see my cursor going there, but as my cursor going all the way around, yeah, that's a lot of bruises there, brothers and sisters. That's a lot of bruising going on with this to Rasheem. A lot. Now, the police department, once again, in Taylorsville, denied this brother. Twice they denied him some type of protect and serve. They did not want to protect him from what he stated was happening. They did not serve him help in reference to taking him to Laurel, where he lived, or I'm going to say, give me 1 second, or possibly just let him stay there. I'm looking at it now, ladies. I wish you could see. Let me see if I can do this right here. I'm going to show you, ladies and gentlemen. This is this is pitiful. This is Bing, and I don't know if you guys, as you see, let me get that off the screen. All right, now this is Bing. The red dot is Taylorsville. You go to the right. I don't know what's the name of that road. Let's see. Stretch back out. That's 28, Highway 28. If you go southeast, that would carry you to Laurel, where he needed to go. Look how far that is from Taylorsville. Long way, ain't it? That was asking for a lot, wasn't it? He was really, truly asking for a lot, wasn't he? Yeah, he was asking for too much out of this police department. They couldn't even take him to So-So. So-So is halfway to that police department. At least that's taking him away from where Rasheem advised the trouble was for him. They couldn't do that. They could not protect this brother and serve him. Ladies and gentlemen, I really strongly feel once the feds get involved and start shaking up some feathers down there and seeing really what went on, what happened, more people, such as like what happened in Georgia around the Ahmaud Arbery situation. Some elected officials got in trouble. I feel here some elected officials may need to be question, because I feel they know more than what they've done in reference to getting to the bottom to find out what happened to our dear brother, Rasheem Carter. 1,000. I'm going to keep repeating this until somebody pays attention and say, I understand what you're saying, L. 1,088 people, 61.44% white. This ain't a black and white thing I'm stating. What I'm stating is there's more whites there than it is blacks there. This brother knew nobody there. He asked for help. They denied him help twice and then told him, look, you can't stay here until your ride gets here. You got to go. That's what this is about. What's on the screen, and the reason why I keep repeating 1,088 is just a fact. You in a small town. That's downtown. You in a small town. And this dude right here, oh, Huckleberry Gabe Horn here, can't do nothing for Mr. Carter. I feel he's doing something, but he just didn't do it for Mr. Carter. I feel he's doing something, he's just not doing it for the Carters. I feel he's doing something, but it's just not for the community in which does not look like him. Yes. I'm waiting for the comment or the statement is, LB, why you making it a black-white issue? I'm not, man. You know, people, they tend to want to throw up, especially to black people. Why come black people won't let it go? Why come they won't? Really? Is it that black people won't let what happened in slavery go? And I'll be honest with you. I got a lot of white friends. I got a lot of white people that I hang out with, you know, have long conversations with, go out and eat dinner with. That ain't got nothing to do with how I feel in reference to white people. When I state what I state in reference to facts, it has everything to do with evil. Whether you're white or you're black, and if you're evil, you are who you are. And that you can't deny. Slavery will never end as long as people like this on this people like him exist. Corrupt. Slavery will never end. Never. You cannot state just because the people in question's phone show their phone was in another area, that's the end of you questioning them. They're no longer suspects. Now, the chief did get I seen it somewhere where they said the chief did get heavy questions. The heat came down on him and everything. And he said that he's not ruling out he's not ruling out that there is a misdeed, foul. He says that there was foul play is not ruled out. But you ain't done nothing. 167 days, you've done nothing. Nothing. No one has reports of what you've done in 167 days other than stating what they told you versus what that text message and the conversations that Rasheem had with his mother and other people, as the family members stated momentarily. You've done nothing, Horn. Nothing. You don't deserve to be a police chief. You just don't. And other men like you do not deserve to be police chief, more or less, on the force. If you're going to protect those who may not be innocent. Yes. You failed to protect an individual who felt threatened, felt about to be harmed, and then eventually was harmed. You failed to protect him. Now, I'm going to do this right here.
Taken at the altar.
Look, once again, ladies and gentlemen, look at that skull. And look at Mr. Horn. Look at that skull of Rasheem Carter. And look at the skull of Gabe Horn. Do I need to say anything else? Do I need to say anything else? My white brothers and sisters, please do not get me wrong. I am not showing any hatred towards white people. I'm not showing any hatred towards white police officers. It's just that you and I both know there's far too many white police officers who are corrupt and need to be removed. This police officer could not have stopped those individuals who actually did this right here to Rasheem. But what he could have done has prevented them from ever getting to the point where they did what they did. He couldn't stop them once they started. But he could have prevented them from ever starting, and that's something he chose not to do. That's something he chose not to do. That was on his watch. He betrayed Rasheem, the town, the communities surrounding his town, the state, and the rest of us. He betrayed all of us. The police chief and the rest of the officers there, they betrayed all of us. And what are we going to do about that? Say, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do about that? What are we going to do about that? Are we going to now stand up and say, you know what? I mean, hearing enough is enough. I mean, please stop it, people. No, we don't need to keep saying enough is enough, because it's not enough of us standing up and making sure this type of stuff does not happen again. I said it before and I'll say it again. Until the federal government, Congress, makes it a law to where all law enforcement are to be evaluated every 6 months by an independent agency on their mental state in reference to how they view individuals, this ain't gonna stop. That's the only way to correct this mess, because that's when you will find those who are evil in law enforcement. Immediately they are to be removed, not sent to rehabilitation, removed. When you find a man that old filled with that type of hatred and you catch them in it, remove them. This guy right here is just one of those I just spoke of. This man ain't right. His police department isn't right. They all need to be removed. They told Mr. Carter he couldn't stay there until his ride came to pick him up. After they knew what type of distress he was in, they said, no, we're not going to help you. I say it once again, people. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? I'm going to follow this case. I will follow up on it to see if the federal government steps in and do something to bring justice for Rasheem's family and community. I really, really do that the federal government comes in and do something to make a change, to show the difference. And yes, please, Mississippi, get that Mr. Horn off the force. Get him out of there. Because if you don't get him out of there, I'm sure if him and his department is able to do something like this, imagine some of the other things they've done. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Do it. Do what needs to be done to press the right people to get him to resign. Meanwhile, federal government, go in and do what needs to be done to investigate. Not just the co-workers, the police department as well. Because there's a reason why they didn't want to help this brother. And it's evident he wasn't, being disorderly, or they would have arrested him. He wasn't. So where was Mr. Carter wrong to not get the help from them? I'm not even a detective. People, we got to stand up and make the change. They're not going to do it on their own. They're not going to do it by us marching. They're not going to do it by us sitting behind these broadcasts like mine and doing nothing. We're going to have to get up, stand up, and do something. Shake the mayor's telephone. Go see the mayor. Make the mayor talk to you. Make the governor of Mississippi, make him talk to you. You know what? Ring them up. Let's see if I can find the phone number for let's see, phone number for. See if we can find a number. The governor's office is oh Lord. Here we go. If you can't call and you're close by, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna give you something. Don't run yet. We're gonna wrap it up in just a second, but we're gonna give you something. If you can, please call the governor's office at 601-359-3150. 601-359-3150, or go to the governor's office at 550 High Street, Suite 19, Jackson, Mississippi. Talk to him. Tell him you need to talk to him. We need help down there in Taylorsville to find out what's going on as to what happened to Rasheem. See if the governor can get someone to start doing their job. Yeah. Call them, 601-359-3150. Make sure the governor talk to you. Mississippi. Ask the governor to talk to you. Let's see what happens. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't need this to happen no more. We got to stop sitting down doing nothing. We got to stop turning our head. We got to stop looking at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter every chance we get just for ha-ha, he-he's, and laughs. We need to get serious. Miss Carter never thought this would happen to her son. Are you going to be the next Mr. or Mrs. Carter? You don't know. But yes, you possibly can if you don't do anything. Look at all the other people who passed. And I'm going to show you something as we end this. Look at all the people who passed before Rasheem did. Tiffany did not feel this would be her. She didn't feel that. Why wait until you're in Tiffany's shoes? Why? We love you, Rasheem. Family of the Carters, we love you. If there's anything we can do here at Urban Voice Beauty, we're more than happy to go over and beyond and help you to get justice for your loved one, Rasheem Carter. We love you. Y'all take care.
Just gotta get some things off my chest. Tough times, I hope y'all holding up. We'll be alright, cause we always is. But I'm feeling like this.
How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times now. Don't be colorblind, cause when they're killing mine, they'll try to justify it. Oh, each and every time. Playing in the park, taking you a jog, sitting on the couch, in your own house. Never seem to matter what we do. You think we don't matter, but we do. You got a problem cause the city on fire, but you're quiet when niggas die. Let the soul up out that body that we buried. You a God, now you no longer have to worry. It's so hard to sing these words out loud. All these beautiful, precious black lives, lost in the name of senseless white rose. Tears falling from our eyes. How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches? How many more times? How many more lives? How many more times? Tell me, how can you be quiet? You know the language of the unheard is a riot. All we ever see from you is violence. You know you ain't no better if you silent. You talking about the city on fire, where your rage when my people die. We ain't slaves, let my people fly. Now it's time, watch my people rise. How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches? How many more times? How many more lives? How many more times? How many mothers have to cry? How many brothers gotta die? How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches all across the world? How many more